of his campaign was what? Of Trump's campaign was what?
Where he said illegals, and then he listed off a number of crimes.
Okay.
And he said da 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 da.
They're not.
And some of them are good people.
Now you said illegals. That's all that matters. Okay, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out because let me finish. You didn't do it right. Mexico is not sending their best people. That's what he said. So be more specific for starters. That's part of it. Now here's the thing. This gentleman is of Mexican descent, by the way, and he's a Trump supporter. So please do not play this card that just because someone's of Mexican descent. So let me finish. Excuse me, you're asking a very heavy thing, and I appreciate it. I've actually added something that's more controversial. He had said Mexico is not sending their best people. They're sending drugs, they're sending crime, they're sending rapists, and some of them are good people. The fact of the matter is, he did not say that all Mexicans are rapists. He did not say they were all drug dealers. So that's the first thing. Now, okay, that's really clear because that's where you were going. I understand this. I know what you're going to say in effect before you say it in some cases. Those words were heavily distorted. That's wrong. He never said that. I have a friend of mine, excuse me, let me finish. Raul Rodriguez is also of Mexican descent. He has been a hardcore and vocal Trump supporter from day one. Ferris, a break. Ferris, really quick. Do you need to finish something with the sergeant? Thank you, Sergeant. I didn't want to interrupt you. Okay, now when Trump talked about how Mexico isn't sending their best people, he wasn't talking about all Mexicans, right?
Yeah, he was talking about illegal.
And what was your response when you heard that?
Well, it makes sense because I lived in Mexico, man. And like honestly,
yep.
I'm not gonna be trying to be racist, but some of the Mexicans, a big percentage, are just the low class of Mexico, man. I mean, who's gonna come to the United States? People who don't make it in Mexico. So I mean, people who don't make it in Mexico are the people who come here illegally. Okay. I have a lot of friends in Mexico. A lot of them, they go through the process, and it's a process can be done. And it's unfair that people like come illegally here. You know, that makes the process lower for the people who are making the process. So that's like insulting. Not to mention that you're insulting the laws of this nation.
Exactly. And tell me about Mexico. How do they enforce their immigration laws? Or do they enforce them?
When I was in Mexico, I asked for financial aid. I asked for a lot of like help, and they rejected because I was a citizen.
Okay, so and
they're pretty strict, and like you know, they have their immigration laws too. Let's talk about the border in the south of Mexico.
Okay.
Where like you know all South America, they have a wall there, and they deport people. Like strictly, they treat them like trash.
And they shoot them, do they not?
They do a lot of crimes there.
They have guards along the southern border.
They can't say that United States being unfair. I mean, we have done a lot for a lot of immigrants. I mean, we have done too much. We have done so much that now we're taking care more of the illegals than our citizens. You know.
I know. Did you see the homeless over here? I've seen mentally ill wandering these streets. Don't they matter?
Okay, so these are all interesting statements, but
they're true statements.
Getting back to what you said before.
Okay.
All right. I mean, you said, or I thought the way the discussion was going.
So you're talking about why people of Hispanic descent are angry with Trump? Is that what your question is, or what?
No. I mean, why? Well, why people would be upset with Trump? I mean,
you know what? Why don't you ask them?
People that are upset?
Yes. Because I'm glad he's president. So what has someone who hates Trump told you?
You told me that people hated Trump.
Yeah, I just met two of them over there.
You told me that people hated Trump because of things that they had learned, or at least, and now let me understand if I'm getting this correct.
Okay.
The idea, like things that they learned in school that were...
Yes. They're being taught to hate Trump. They're
okay. Then I asked you whether or not there was anything that you think Trump has said or done that has inspired more hatred towards him. You know, and then you said no, and you said to provide an example. I provided the example of the initial speech that Trump did.
And that wasn't his first speech, by the way.
I mean, his announcement of running for...
No.
Or, I don't know.
You don't have your facts straight, sir.
I have, okay, so, yeah.
That's a problem.
But that fact doesn't matter.
Yes, it does, because if you're not getting facts straight, this is part of the reason why you might not like Trump and why a lot of people hate him.
All right, so, sorry, I stand corrected. One of his
It was a speech in Arizona. Sheriff Joe Arpaio was there. He was introduced by Rudy Giuliani.
He rode down on the escalator.
I don't recall that, no.
Where he rode down the escalator?
This is in Arizona. And you're not getting to the contents here. You're dancing around a lot of issues.
Okay. Well,
but the fact is this, excuse me. And the fact is this, Donald Trump he issued some hardcore, even controversial statements, and people lied and said that he said these things about people of certain backgrounds, which he did not do.
Okay.
Now, people have been lied to about this for starters.
I mean...
And in schools, they're being taught to hate Trump. And now after he's been elected, there they are. They're saying even worse things about him.
Okay.
The fact is, any person can say whatever they want to. I, as an individual, have a choice whether I get angry or not.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's something else I really want to get to fundamentally. I could say anything I could say to somebody, the Holocaust never happened. It did happen, by the way. I'm just giving that as an example.
Okay.
Now, I can choose to lose my temper, or I could say, you're lying. We got nothing to talk about. I choose how I feel.
Right.
I can make that decision.
No, you don't choose how you feel. You choose how you respond to how you feel.
It depends. No, that's not true.
Okay.
It depends in some ways. If someone puts a gun in my face, I'm going to react fearfully.
Right, you're going to be scared.
Okay, so let's wrap this up.
Okay, so getting back to the point, or at least the point that I was discussing. So he said that, okay, when he said, he listed illegals and he said they committed all these crimes and some of them are good people. To me, that is a racial inciting statement.
Why?
Because what you're saying is, you're inferring that there is a large section of the population that has come here illegally that is committing heinous crimes against people. When the percentage of people that are committing heinous crimes against other people, whether they've come here illegal or not, is not a majority of the. It's a small subsection of that population.
So let me.
And when you say that,
let me know when you're wrapped up.
About when you say that about a population that you know is of primarily one ethnicity, you are inciting racial friction.
You seem to be struggling a little bit.
No, I'm passionate about this particular element.
Do you mind if I respond really quick? Let me respond to this. I've got to respond to this because I can respond to this right now. He said Mexico is not sending their best people. He didn't say that only Mexico is not sending their best people, first of all. And second of all, excuse me, it's my turn. He didn't make any racial disparities at all. Actually, you just did.
No.
Because yes, you did when you claimed it was a racist attack.
I said
it wasn't. Our largest group of illegals are from Great Britain. Yes, you did. Yes, you said it was racist.
Did I say it was a racist
I've got you on record, buddy.
I did not say